Here we talk about alcohol brands, agencies, gig work on and off premise at bars or grocery stores or liquor stores. Today I'm talking to my first CEO. You're going to know a lot more about what it takes to be a brand ambassador after this. Are you thinking about being inside of an agency? Well, in this episode, we're going to answer all those questions for you. Stay tuned. This is Nayeli with Red Carpet Productions. Welcome to the Live Spirits podcast. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. I'm so excited to have you on. I can't remember how long I've been working with Red Carpet. I think it's almost been a year now.
No, I think you joined the team about a year and a half ago.
Year and a half. Nice. So I want to start you off with a speed round. What states does Red Carpet cover?
We are obviously in Texas, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, Nevada, and California. Actually, in New Jersey and New York, we just added them last month. So we're building a team there.
Amazing. I know a lot of people that reach out to me from those areas, so that's awesome. Are there specific cities that you are in need of? Obviously, New York and New Jersey will have some now that you're there.
We have a new brand that is taking us with them to different states, and that's why we're expanding into those markets. So we definitely need people in New Jersey. A lot of the people that we've hired come from New York, but we need more local people just throughout New Jersey in general, like the whole state. We need people in San Diego and just, to cover the actual operations of the tastings and the dealing with the brand ambassadors and customers and all that. So I never had to work tastings myself. I've been to tastings and I've, experienced them. But I've never actually hired myself to do a tasting.
That is a blessing in its own way. I'm so jealous actually, because I wish I worked more inside of an agency. I'm so interested in how it works inside and how many people it takes to run one. What makes a successful brand ambassador in the alcohol industry?
A successful brand ambassador for just in any industry actually would be someone that when you come across to them, at an event or at a tasting or wherever they are, you won't be able to tell if they're hired by an agency or if they work for the brand. A successful brand ambassador feels like an extension of the sales team of the brand that they're representing. And it's somebody that will be, you can see the commitment to what they're doing. So they will show up on time, they will engage with you before you come and ask them. Like they will try to attract you to their table. They'll be friendly. They'll ask you questions to find out what you like, what you're looking for, to find a way to sell you what they're selling. And
psychology.
They're gonna be committed to that engagement opportunity they have with you and to push the sale as much as possible without being too pushy. There's like the best brand ambassadors that we have. They do magic on the job. Like they're able to get the consumer so engaged with them that they don't even feel like they're actually getting sold something.
Exactly. Do you have any brand ambassador horror stories?
To me, the worst, I feel like I built a team based on loyalty. We like to have that personal connection with everybody who works for us, and we expect loyalty on their part. So, and we know that life happens. The worst horror story is somebody that doesn't show up to the tasting and never communicates with us, because we're very good at handling cancellations. We check with our brand ambassadors the week off. If you're not responding, then we start finding a plan B to take your spot. If something happens the day off, which happens every weekend anyway, if we're not able to find a replacement, we call the store, we let the client know. So we're very good at fixing the issue before it becomes a big issue. And when they said they were going to be there and they never told us, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it, and we find out through the client or the store, it's like the worst for me. Because we work so hard to make sure that we have 100% reliability from our team, and our clients know that we're not gonna fail. So that would be for me like the worst. Anything else we can deal with.
No communication. The worst thing you could do when working with any agency because now you're at risk of getting off the roster just because you didn't respond. And also you're putting the agency and the client and the store at a loss in some way.
Yeah, communication, and we were very understanding that things happen. We have a lot of moms on the team. I'm a mom, and I think that, I understand family comes first. There's some people that are really good at finding replacements before they let us know, hey, I'm not gonna be able to make it, but I have somebody who can cover for me. And that's
oh, that's awesome.
So appreciated. Yes,
I am not good at that. I'm still new to the area, so I don't know too many people. I don't have too many numbers. If you can find a replacement, that's a really good tip.
Yeah,
when you're calling out, if you can find a replacement, it's not as painful for anybody.
Exactly. And I feel like, since you're new to the area, as you continue to develop your network, I feel like the brand, there's really strong brand ambassador networks in every city where eventually everybody kind of knows each other from working on teams with them, or just, groups of people that sometimes when they reach out to their friends and they come and have a replacement, it makes everybody's life easier.
How important is social media presence for ambassadors or brand reps? I'm also kind of want to talk about like pictures. When it comes to your pictures, where do they go? Who's looking at them? Do they go on social media? I know that's a lot of people ask that when we're at tastings.
We try to stay away from posting customer pictures on social media unless they give us permission. But sometimes it's just like really hard to get. So our social media, I would say 99% of what we post is going to be a brand ambassador holding the product, with their setup. We do have some brand ambassadors that post stories with people in them, and then we share them, and that's about it. But we try not to share or create posts or stories with customers unless they're like super pumped about it and they're like, yeah, what is there? So, but we try to stay away from that. Having brand ambassadors that post on social media is a super plus for both for the agency and for the brand. And I wish everybody did that. It helps, it's just a little bit extra support that you're giving to the brand that is hiring us for, and for you're a brand ambassador, so like posting something, speaks volumes of your commitment to the brand too.
So when I post a picture of me at my table, I want to tag the brand, obviously, but should I also tag red carpet? Is that something
we love when our brand ambassadors tag us? Like, we share your posts, and yes, please
do that. We want to see that. What are the trends that you're seeing in the alcohol brands?
It all depends on the type of liquor, right? I mean, everybody has different trends. In general, I think that brands are showing more commitment to community issues, and they take a stand on their beliefs, and I think they're being more vocal about it. I think let's say if you talk about agave brands, like tequila, for example, I think the tendency is now people are more aware of the no additives and things like that.
Definitely seeing a lot of that.
Yes, so brands that do have no additives are like pushing their marketing to show the community that they are additive free, and it's people are definitely paying attention to that. I see brands that do a lot in the community when there's disasters, and they're very good at marketing that, and people care about brands that care about the community and get back. I would say that those are some of the trends that I've...
So when it comes to being a brand ambassador and it's time to research before you're tasting, do you give little trainings or information pamphlets about the brand? And how important is it for the brand ambassador to also do their own research? Like, you provide information, but also brand ambassadors need to do their own research.
I mean, definitely both.
Definitely both.
Best prepared you can come to a tasting just for you, just so that you seem more knowledgeable Consumers can tell that you're not just a pretty face behind the table on your phone. You're actually, like I said, you should always try to look like you're an extension of the sales team of the brand, and people who work for the brand know what they're selling. We get talking points, sales sheets from our clients, and we include them on the event description on the system that we have. If they send us sales sheet, we attach them to the product so that you can read over it. We try to have talking points for brands to make sure that you mention this at your tastings. We do that on the system that we have. And then when we have new brands that we have to push something in particular, we send group texts every week prior to the tasting to those people with specific talking points they need to focus on and things like that. Because I mean, some people don't read their emails, some people just don't read through the description. So we try to push talking points in different ways to make sure that we get the message across. We also have brands that pay for training with the brand ambassadors. So we offer paid training opportunities to the brands, and when they want to take them, so once we post the events and we have people sign up, we offer training opportunities through conference calls or Zoom and things like that. So we also do that when we have a big group of people in a city and we have local reps there. We also have in-person brand trainings that are offered to those people. And obviously, if you attend the trainings and you sell well, more than likely you're going to continue to get tastings for that particular brand because it just makes sense for everybody. So it's always good if there's a training opportunity to participate, take it. For you, for the brand, and for future job opportunities.
Do your own research, but also check your emails, check your texts, read the talking points that are usually attached to the email.
We use a system called Piñata.
Oh, yeah.
And on the event description, we normally post when there's talking points that we got specific to the brand, we post them there.
Yeah.
Within the event description.
Perfect. When it comes to talking points, I want to kind of go a little deeper into that. What are talking points? Like when it comes to a spirit, let's say specifically a spirit. So for tequilas, are there specific talking points that you should know before you're tasting, would you say?
Yes. So
it's different for every spirit, but yeah.
Go ahead. It depends on the brand, right? So for example, some brands have, they want you to say that their product was aged in this particular type of barrel for this many months. And it's very important for them that that because that makes them unique compared to other brands. Or, the additive-free stuff, if they're single state, each company that comes to us or each brand that comes to us, they are like, this is what makes us different. So if they have some very specific things that make them different than everybody else, then those are talking points that you cannot miss when you talk to a client. And when we get that, then we put them, we make sure that you know. So it depends, when it's hard liquor, a lot of it has to do with the process of how it's made. And also another important talking point is the notes. So when you have whiskey or tequila and the customer is sampling the product, if most customers don't know much about liquor, right? So they taste it and it just tastes like alcohol if you're just taking the shot. But if the brand ambassador tells them, do it slowly, have a small sip, stop, and then try it again. And then if you describe what they're supposed to be smelling or tasting, their brain is going to capture that. So if you're given talking points, or if you go to their website and it says, when you try it, the notes are vanilla and caramel or blah, blah, make sure that you mention that when you're sampling, because the brain will perceive the flavor once you say it. Otherwise, it's just going to be alcohol because consumers know. So that's very important to me, describing the flavor and the smell that the customer is supposed to be perceiving when sampling.
So nose, taste, finish is what I usually write for, I mean, for wine and for spirits, it really
Mhm.
doesn't matter, because if you can walk them through that process that you're talking about, tell them what they're going to smell, tell them what they're going to taste, tell them what the finish is going to be like crisp and long, like, or,
Mhm.
something like
Yeah,
that.
some keywords that show
Words.
like one like it shows that you know what you're sampling, and then it just makes the experience more memorable for the client or the consumer. And
Yeah.
also if you explain a little, if you're given talking points on the process of how they got to that particular, aroma
Flavor
or
or,
taste,
yeah,
then that's
the
important.
barrel, something like that.
Exactly. So just having a broad understanding of what you're offering is key, instead of just like showing up and say, you want to try some tequila, and that's it, and unfortunately there's a lot of people that just do that.
I know.
But having that commitment to the agency, to the brand that is paying a lot of money to have somebody there representing them, is just it's very important.
What advice would you give someone looking to break into the alcohol brand ambassador work?
I would say that, just like with any job, to be committed to what you are signing up for. The brand ambassador industry pays really well to the people who work as brand ambassadors. And, brands, even if they're big brands and small brands, whatever, emerging brands, it's setting money aside for marketing and tastings it's not easy. They hire agencies that will hire brand ambassadors, and everybody, for the most part, are independent contractors. So everybody depends on the individual that decided to take the job of brand ambassador. And it is a very important job. Like, it's not just show up and stand by the table. It's like really taking the job seriously, and an understanding of everything that is behind the scenes of you getting there and showcasing a product. The new brand.
Understand that it's a contract. It's a contract. So, you're not only taking the job. For those who aren't familiar with 1099 work, you sign up. It's like you're signing a contract to be this gig worker for this event.
Mhm.
And it's like saying, okay, I'm clocking in for the day. I work that day. Like, it's just telling yourself, like, hey, I worked that day.
Work, yeah. So
Work it. Just work it.
if you're serious about, it's great money. It's if you do it full time, it's awesome. But if you have a full-time job and want to, connect with people on the weekends and make some extra money, this is a great way to make money, and because it pays really well. And all agencies ask is for people to show up on time, to be prepared, to do the job that they're getting paid for, and do it right. And communicate with us if something is not going well. Engage with the clients. So yeah, I mean, if you're thinking about getting into this industry, just do it with the commitment that when you get a job, you're representing yourself, you're representing the agency, and more than likely, more than anything, you're representing the brand. And that's a big, big responsibility.
Big deal. Big deal. I want to talk about dress code a little bit, because I feel like not a lot of people understand what not wearing a brand at a tasting is. Like let's say it's a black shirt, but it has like a Nike swoosh on it. Would you consider that to be good attire for a tasting?
Ideally, you want to stay away from any branding
Any branding
that
right.
is not, the brand that you're representing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're asked to wear sports attire for an event, obviously you're gonna have to show some sports brand. But and I don't think it's a big deal when you're dealing with alcohol, because it doesn't compete with Nike or Lululemon or anything like that. But so depending on the event that you're working, but if it's at a tasting and you're being asked to wear a black top, try to wear a tank top or a shirt that is not showing any type of branding, in my opinion.
Brand.
Yeah.
Right. Like right now, I just have a black shirt. There is no logos. So I guess that's what I'm saying. Like,
that would be perfect.
No logos of any sorts. No schools, no sports. Feel like or no bands, no music bands, like,
Yes. Yeah, because you're there to
because
showcase
those are
only
all
the brand.
brands and
Yes,
logos.
exactly. And if you're wearing a different brand at a tasting, you know, that brand has nothing to do with the liquor brand that you're promoting. So try to stay away from showing any other type of brand on what you're wearing when you're supporting a tasting or, an event.
Exactly. Is there a certain type of person that you need to be to work inside of an agency or to work for an agency?
You have to be, well, in my opinion, the team who works for me has to be very organized, very detailed oriented, because we are dealing with a lot of little details from so many different clients that we can't mess up on our end. You have to be very patient, have to know how to work under pressure. And the most important thing for me when I hired people that are going to deal with my brand ambassadors is somebody who will have integrity and also are good with people. Always respectful to my brand ambassador, always respectful and understanding of the situation. I try to hire people that are able to handle crises like that, because you don't want to have, if
Patience and understanding.
yeah, that's very, like, to be friendly with our brand ambassadors.
Yeah.
That's important to me. There's other agencies
That's important to us too, to be
yes,
understanding and patient with us, because a lot of us are new, or maybe we haven't done this as many times as some other brand ambassadors, and it could be like nerve-wracking, and we have a lot of probably questions that are normally common sense. And it's nice to know that there's agencies that are like patient and understanding, and it's like, okay, they just don't know yet, or they're new, whatever. So
yeah, that's very important for me when I hire people, that that they take, it's part of our culture within Red Carpet. We treat everybody almost like family. That's something, and it's probably because we are a family owned business. That's how we started, was my
that's awesome.
brother-in-law, my husband, like that's how we founded it. And then, like I mentioned before, I ended up like just taking over the whole thing. But from the beginning, we have people that have worked with us since we started in 2013. And they may go and, do life, and then they come back. But we've seen them grow from when they were in their early 20s, now in their 30s, and we've seen people have babies and get married, and it's we really feel like everybody is part of the Red Carpet Productions family. So I like my staff to treat people like that.
Awesome. Thank you so, so much for being with me, taking your time to be with me. I'm honored. Thank you for having me work for you. I'm so happy that I get to talk to you in person. Anything you want to say before we go?
No, thank you for inviting me to participate. I'm glad that you're doing this. I think you're creating great content. I follow you, and I, like your posts, and I think you're doing great. And
Thank you.
you're providing a service to the agencies and to the brand ambassadors and the industry in general. So congrats on doing that.
Thank you so much again, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Right, and that is my second episode of Live Spirits Podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca Spirits. If there's anything that you want to know about agencies, I will send a link in the description of the Red Carpet Productions, so you can sign up for them if you are in any of those cities and states that they're looking for. Maybe you want to try to find more agencies. I do have a list of agencies in my description. Also, a list of independent contractor tools, just things that you should always have in your bag so you're able to do a tasting and always be ready for anything, right? So if you want to sign up for Red Carpet, description below. You want a list of agencies, description below. Do you need to know what kind of tools you're going to need? In the description below, okay? I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.